And the art of punches when you could throw two punches that sound like one. You could throw punches, you can hear them. They were two, but they sound like fucking one punch. Oh, they don't understand. Anybody that hears this understand the art of fighting. They know what I'm saying. He do two punches that sound like one.
Mic check, mic check. How's it going tonight? Yo, cut the music, cut the music. Cut the music. What's going on tonight, guys? Shout out the chat. You know, we had a good chat today, man. We had a really good conversation today. Really good video this morning. If you didn't catch the morning stream, make sure you do so. We got a lot of cool videos lined up for you guys tonight too. So hopefully you guys stay tuned for that. A lot of news, a lot of stuff in the news this week, man. Shout out Joanne, shout out Don. Welcome to the chat. Appreciate you guys showing up today. Yeah, man, a lot of cool stuff going down in the news. Some about video games, man. Some big news in the world of gaming. Some huge news in the world of America. Hey, Whiskey, welcome in. And you know what I mean? Some also new news in technology and the way that police are monitoring us. So we got a lot of stuff to kind of talk about today, man. Let me know what's on your mind, chat. Let me know how you feeling. Yo, Misty. Welcome in, Misty, chat. You know, we like when the members show up to the live stream. Show her some love. Appreciate you being a member, Misty. So, yeah, man, first and foremost, let's talk about that check, bro. Everybody wants to get the damn check, man. What do you got to do to get the $2,000 Trump check? In terms of when it's coming, I don't know, bro. I don't know exactly when it's coming, but I low-key kind of believe it, bro. I kind of believe we're going to get this check, bro. So we'll see. I think Congress has to vote on it. Supposedly, every working class American will get, you know, definitely a check. So it's not going to be as clear-cut as if you make more than this amount of money. You know what I mean? Obviously, it also depends upon your dependents and things like that. But yeah, every adult who either paid taxes or was claimed on someone's taxes are going to get a $2,000 stipend, I'm assuming. So you know what I mean? I don't know how the kids are gonna add up. Hopefully the kids add up too. Cause you know, that could be like 8 bands in a house easy, you know? That could be like that could really help. Man, the bots are fighting each other. We in the chat, my bad. But like motherfuckers could really get some money, bro. Like imagine you got a cool little random 6-8 grand real quick. Like I'm sure that would help everybody's situation out right now. You got to realize that, and this is what I've been saying since the people who were talking crazy about the last time we got checks, like we got the stimulus checks, saying that increased inflation or whatever. But the time is inflation. The fact is inflation's always gonna happen. Like inflation always happens, right? No matter what. So why the fuck should we not get some money, dog? If this shit was gonna happen anyway, if motherfuckers were gonna like fuck up the money anyway, shouldn't we at least get some money to spend and help fuck it up ourselves? Like, damn, bro, like you gotta realize you better off getting the money than not getting the money. So everybody who's like weary of the money or like, man, I don't want this money or just hating, like, bro, I'm telling you, like that shit's gonna go bad anyway. Fucking tell me one time in history where inflation didn't happen. And I can only tell you one time in history that we got money in preparation of the inflation that was on the horizon. Like before COVID inflation hit, it wasn't like people thought it was a surprise. No, they saw it coming. That's why they gave us the checks. Obviously, the checks couldn't last forever because, you know what I'm saying? But everything was going to stay expensive. Low key, people need like a basic income, bro. I think there should be a basic, um, yeah, give me the money, right, Misty? That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, y'all gonna spend this shit up anyway. Let me spend it up too. Like, I want to help. Let me help fuck it up, dog. I'm not gonna do nothing smart. I've never been like a financially smart person. Like, you know what I mean? I'm a fuck up in my own right, but let me fuck it up, bro. Like, if you gonna just fuck it up, let me fuck it up. Let me dry the boat. Let me dry the boat, dog. But yeah, man, I'm just curious when and how they're gonna, pay this money. I'm sure they're just gonna put it in the banks that you guys used for taxes. So hopefully y'all still got the same bank accounts or debit cards. Y'all, oh yeah, my money's spent, bro. When I get that shit, I'm finna spend that shit. I'm finna probably take my wife on vacation and buy myself some cool shit. Like I'm boosting the economy. That's just what the odds are. Hey, great eyes, welcome back. Appreciate you. Vegas model. Vegas model, welcome to the chat. You know, we like when the members show up to the live stream, so thank you. You and Misty doing your thug thizzle. Yeah, literally. Literally. I'm gonna pay my landlady, bro, some money. That's what I'm gonna really do with it. I'm gonna pay my landlord some money and buy myself a new PC or something because this motherfucker keep restarting. Like my PC is coming is like my PC going bad. I gotta get a new one, but I'm gonna wait because that's what I was gonna talk about. The next thing I'm super excited for is this device called the Steam Machine. Like, oh, I can't wait, bro. I'm gonna run the whole YouTube channel from it. I think it's gonna be so cool, bro. I can't wait. I'm gonna run the whole channel from the Steam Machine. I think that's gonna be its own series of videos because I don't know. Well, shit, there's no other YouTubers doing that shit right now. So I'll be the first one to do it. You feel me? And I'm gonna document that. Um, I tomorrow I think I go get the schedule. Tomorrow I go get the schedule. So we'll see what's up. I'm supposed to sign the onboarding paperwork and all that good shit tomorrow. I got an appointment. Tomorrow's Friday, right? Yeah. Yeah, I gotta go tomorrow. Yeah, bro, we didn't have to pay back them COVID checks, so we're not gonna have to pay back this shit either. Yeah, if we get them checks, I don't think we're gonna have to pay them back. It's a dividend to the people. Like, supposedly, we're entitled to that shit. Like, that's supposed to be for the American people. I'm still gonna be here. It's just a little part-time gig. I like October was rough. November we've been doing okay, man. Shout out to the chat. We guys been doing a lot better than we did in October so far. But you know what I'm saying? I just chopped that up to, life happens and motherfuckers, no matter what, if life happens, y'all, I'm gonna be on channel. I'm gonna be on stream and I'm gonna be here for y'all. But you know what I'm saying? If life's happening too hard for y'all, then that means I gotta like try to supplement the podcast in other ways. So I picked up a little part-time gig, you feel me? But yeah, I want to get that steam machine, bro. I'm super excited for that. I can't wait. I can't wait for that. I'm gonna run the whole channel off of that. That's my idea. I'm gonna use it the same way I use the PC that I run this show on. But I think it's just gonna be a lot more clean cut. Like, it's gonna look good. Like, in terms of like my desk space and shit. I got a big ass PC under my desk. It's just gonna be like a little cube. That shit looks tight. And then the third thing was gonna take us into our first video today, actually. And that is the new terrifying way police are monitoring us. Let's check it out.
Sometimes I can't stop thinking about all the cameras. Step out of my door, security camera. Head down the street, police camera. Movies, camera. Shopping, camera. Groceries, subway, doorbell, camera. I've noticed this for years. And then I found a website that lets me search for all of them. And I got obsessed. And as I looked around, there was one type of surveillance camera that kept coming up again and again. ALPR, Automated License Plate Readers. They're cameras that automatically record the license plate number, make, model, and features of every vehicle that comes into view. This is, at its core, not a new technology.
That's wild. Did you see how many? Yeah, they been had license plate readers, but to have them on every fucking corner, that means they know exactly where you are every day if you're a driver or if you drive. Hey, what up, Mr. Lodak? Welcome back to the chat, my boy.
Search on newspaper archives, and you can see that we've been talking about automatic license plate readers since the 80s. What's new, I've started to learn, is how they're used in 2025.
This camera system is unbelievable.
Cameras just started popping up everywhere.
There's still the questions of who has access to these.
We are very sensitive to public concern around privacy.
This is definitely the ingredients or what we call a police state.
This is probably the biggest invasion of privacy that has ever hit America.
More and more, these systems aren't just cameras. They're storing data, compiling lists, and with enough ALPRs, law enforcement essentially has real-time surveillance of every vehicle in their area.
We're talking about mass surveillance.
Mass surveillance, in the sense that they collect data on everyone.
You can basically see where everyone is at any point in time.
These are some of the people I've talked with over the last few weeks as I tried to learn as much.
That would be only like in the major cities though, right? Or do you think they got this shit like out in rural America now?
As I can about ALPRs, because I got a little obsessed. I even started looking them up every time I went somewhere new.
Found it. There's another one.
And pretty quickly, I noticed a few things.
I think that has to be one. I see another one.
First, the map was an underestimation.
I'm definitely noticing that there are a lot of these that are not labeled on this map.
And second, almost all of the unmapped ALPRs looked identical. A pole with a solar panel on top, a camera right below, and this logo. Flock Safety.
You think that's a private company? Oh, that's probably how they would get away with some of the surveillance laws. is like the government sells this job to a private sector company that's allowed to film public spaces where the government isn't allowed to. That's crazy.
Is a surveillance tech company that says its mission is simple: eliminate crime.
Do you envision a future with a flock camera on every street corner?
I envision that, and I envision an America where crime no longer exists.
And part of why so many of the flock cameras I found might not be labeled on open source maps yet.
Yeah, Lodak, man, fuck EOS, man. We were supposed to be rich, man. Fuck EOS.
Is because of just how quickly the company has grown. In the 8 years since its founding, Flock's revenue has skyrocketed. It's now valued at over $7 billion. Flock says that its cameras are used by more than 5,000 of the 18,000 law enforcement agencies in the US, and more than 1,000 private customers, like homeowners associations, schools, and shopping malls. And while only 20,000 of its cameras have been reported, watchdogs estimate that the real number is over 90,000, taking billions of photos every month. I'm sure I've been photographed driving past.
See, but my thing is, like, at that point, well, I guess they could just search your shit, right? Like, just be like, put your license plate number, and then all the pictures of your license plate would come up. But I was thinking of that shit like pieces of paper. Like, fucking, once you got so many pictures, like, how the fuck can you sift through them? But with technology and computers, it's easy to sift through, like, loads of information.
One of Flock's cameras, and if you drive a car in the US, you probably have two. I set out to make a video about automated license plate readers in general, but pretty quickly it became a video about just one company. I want to tell you about that company, why its cameras spread to almost every corner of the United States, and how it's quietly reshaped our relationship with being watched.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. You know I'm from Vegas. You know damn well I'm from Vegas. It's in their algorithm. That's true, Joanne.
By the way, before I dive in, if you want to learn more about how ALPRs work and the technology behind them, Ben Jordan.
Yo, shout out Snoop. Welcome back, girl. You know we like when the members show up to the live stream. Thank you for showing up today.
Has an amazing video about this that goes super in depth. In this video, I want to talk about why Flock in particular has been so successful at this, and what the real world implications are of their particular model.
Okay, I know it's somewhere around here. This is a confusing area because there are so many cameras like all over the place. It's hard to tell which one is an ALPR. Actually, I think that might be it. Even though we still call these things license plate readers, they can do a lot more than just read license plates. On Flock, you don't even need a license plate to track down a vehicle. With their AI-powered search tools, you could just look up silver Mercedes station wagon with bumper stickers and find all the matches. But the real change in what ALPRs are...
Damn, you don't even need to know the license plate's number. You could just put in make and model or distinctions on the car, and then the AI model's smart enough to filter with that. That's wild. That is a big invasion of privacy issue, for sure.
Are capable of isn't about the details that these cameras can record. It's about the quantity of cameras recording.
Yeah, years ago, you'd see license plate readers in some cities on some roads, but there weren't enough of them to put together a big picture of where you actually live, where you work, where you go every day.
Okay. If you can see these sticky notes, every single one of these is a reminder for a big international trip that I have coming up. Visa and outfits and hotels and tools. Get 15% off a full picture of where everyone is. Part of the answer is that it doesn't sell ALPRs. It sells a subscription to ALPRs.
It's presented as something that's really affordable, because if you wanted to buy ALPRs and deploy 100 of them before Flock, it would cost a lot, and most cities wouldn't be able to do it because they don't have the money. But if you lease them, then you can add as many as you want, and you can still afford it. And it's cheaper than hiring police officers and things like that.
But the other part of the answer is that Flock made it incredibly easy to share ALPR data. Law enforcement agencies can share their ALPR data one-on-one with other agencies that use Flock. And any private company that subscribes
Well, that's good, but I don't know if private companies should have access to that shit. But that's what I'm saying. The way, I don't know, bro. The future's scary, bro.
Subscribes to Flock can choose to share their data with law enforcement too. For a law enforcement agency, being able to share ALPR data is a valuable feature. If that agency is tracking a vehicle that drives out of the range of its ALPRs, getting access to another agency's ALPRs can help identify where that vehicle is. It allows them to cast a wider net. Giving customers the ability to share ALPR data isn't new. Vigilant Solutions, an American ALPR manufacturer acquired by Motorola in 2019, did something similar a decade ago.
So this used to be the unique thing for Vigilant Solutions. Vigilant Solutions had a thing called the Learn Network. The actual phrase on Vigilant Solutions' website was something like, adding another agency to your share list is as easy as adding a friend on social media. And sure enough, you'd have like a police department in California that's adding.
So basically, in the future, our background checks is going to come with like unofficial tapes of us doing shit. So even if like you didn't get charged or like shit was never documented, there's going to be like facial recognition, license plate recognition, retina recognition, shit that's going to keep a score. There's going to be like a social score on us, bro. That's wild. Our kids might still get to live life similar to us, but our kids' kids are going to see like a crazy type of future.
Cities and towns across the US are having to figure out how to deal with them in real time. And I wanted to understand what critics were most worried about. For one thing, there are problems when ALPRs don't work the way they're supposed to. Testing on Flock cameras has found flaws in the accuracy of their license plate readings. Police errors in interpreting ALPR data has led to several cases of innocent people being pulled over at gunpoint, vehicles being recovered. They have little to no effect on crime rates more broadly. But for critics, the more alarming question is what happens when ALPRs do work the way they're supposed to?
Of course it works. That's not the point. If we put a tracker on every human being in Denver, we would solve every crime and we would get a whole lot of other bad unintended consequences of that.
We could have basically zero crime if tomorrow we required every person to wear a body camera and fed the footage into a police database. But the Fourth Amendment doesn't allow that.
Obviously, this is a good law enforcement tool.
That would be crazy, bro. You wouldn't even be able to take a shit or be intimate without like fucking it being recorded.
Tool, but at what societal cost?
The societal cost, of course, is privacy. ALPRs have already been used to monitor attendance at gun shows and places of worship and political rallies. With enough data points like these, ALPRs give law enforcement the kind of information that was previously only available by putting a GPS tracker on your car or analyzing data from your phone, both of which require getting a warrant under the Fourth Amendment. That's the one that protects against unreasonable searches and seizures. Flock argues that its system doesn't infringe on the Fourth Amendment because license plates are not personal information. They're issued by the government for the express purpose of identifying vehicles. But even if license plates are public, the record of everywhere that they've been can be very private. Flock also argues that ALPRs do not track people. They simply take pictures. But even if ALPRs on their own do not track people, people with access to a large network of ALPRs.
I was just going to say, if a person has access to the data, then they could track somebody. So whether the algorithm is tracking one individual or not, if it's tracking everyone, then someone can zoom in on a person and track them.
Of searches that had been made on Flock's nationwide network. Every search on that network requires police to list the reason for their query. In these search records, officers had entered keywords like immigration. In the US, different states have different laws. Usually that's not an issue. Police in the state where a crime takes place have jurisdiction over the case, and police in the other state aren't involved. But if police in this state are actively sharing their ALPR data to a network that police in this state can access, suddenly they are involved with that agency's work.
So if we look at like abortion access, places like Texas, it's illegal to help somebody get an abortion. In California, it is illegal to impede somebody's access to an abortion. These are diametrically opposite, like, ideas of what a crime is. And so how do agencies even interact anymore? How do they share data when they're working at cross purposes?
To avoid those issues, in some states it's illegal for local police to share license plate info with out-of-state or federal authorities. Often these laws are specifically to limit that information being accessed for immigration enforcement, in order to promote trust between immigrant communities and local authorities. But we have evidence that even in states with those laws, police have been sharing their data anyway. You can see in these maps from the watchdog site Eyes on Flock that most California police departments follow that law. But some police departments, like El Cajon, share their data all over the country.
Here in California, we have this real struggle with cities are handing out this data whether they're supposed to or not. It is not as controlled and responsibly used as I think the average person would assume that it is.
The 404 media investigation didn't just reveal that police were labeling their searches immigration. They were also specifically inputting ICE, which stands for U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, and ERO for ICE's Enforcement and Removal Operations Division. All of this suggested that local police were running searches on Flock's database on behalf of federal agencies. Local law enforcement in Colorado were even caught giving their Flock passwords to federal authorities. Those federal authorities have then run ALPR searches related to immigration enforcement. In town halls across the country, residents have expressed concern that federal agencies might be able to access the Flock cameras in their communities.
Flock is not the company that we trust not to share our data. This is not, right? They're going to sell it to the highest bidder.
The intended purposes are all noble goals, but these cameras and this technology does so much more than that.
The only way to protect our residents, especially immigrants and people seeking reproductive care, is to not collect the data in the first place.
Some cities have put their contracts with Flock Safety on pause or ended them entirely. Flock now claims it will block any searches of a state's ALPRs if those searches violate that state's law.
When there is state legislation, we help our customers not break it.
And following 404 Media's reporting, Flock removed Illinois, California, and Virginia from its national lookup tool. But it raised the question of whether federal authorities might have direct access to Flock cameras. Flock, at first, said they don't.
So you're
Yeah, they do have access to that. I promise you they have access to that. Hold on, I'm having some microphone issues. Hold up.
You're in 6,000 municipalities.
Yeah.
Do you have any federal contracts?
We don't.
No, so no contracts with ICE?
No contracts with ICE.
1 month after that interview, Flock admitted that they actually did have a pilot program with U.S. Customs and Border Protection.
Well, now that company admits immigration agents do have direct access.
Flock has insisted for months that federal agents do not have direct access to local police departments' tracking data. We now know that's not true.
A previously undisclosed program gave U.S. Customs and Border Protection access to a Flock account, which allowed federal agents to send invitations to police departments for one-to-one data sharing. In August 2025, Flock announced that it had paused all operations with federal agencies because of concerns from communities across the country over how that data is used. But the pause is only temporary. The company says it still has plans to work with federal agencies in the future.
I'm not sure that we have really fully grasped what that power is. That's an incredible power that really only, if you believe in like God or something, that's that kind of godlike power. To be able to fully analyze and be aware of an entire population's movement and motions and what that means about them, right?
I've been particularly obsessed with this question of how many cameras there are around us. I find it fascinating. At the same time,
Bro, you couldn't even count. You couldn't even count how many around you because you wouldn't even be able to see them all.
to be completely honest, I find it increasingly difficult to care about surveillance. It's overwhelming. It's easy to tune out. There are too many kinds of surveillance technologies and too few things that we can realistically do about any of them. But in the United States, I think there's a case to be made that one company has single-handedly brought us into a new era of surveillance. The sheer number of cameras that Flock Safety operates and the ease of sharing data between those cameras are testing the limits of our right to privacy. At Flock, ALPRs are only the beginning. In 2025, the company debuted its newest product.
It's easy to see that drones are the future of law enforcement. They are safer, they are faster, they work 24.
I don't know how the drones are the future of law enforcement. I think you're always going to need people police because I, I don't think a drone, a drone can shoot somebody, but how the fuck is it going to restrain somebody or, you know what I mean? Like, or put handcuffs on somebody.
Hey, thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, this is Tunnel Vision. It is a show where we go down rabbit holes and tell stories about how we find answers on the internet. I wanted to give a special shout out to Will Freeman's website, dflock.me. It is the easiest way to see the location of ALPRs near you or around the world. It also has some really easy to
Man, yeah, that's scary. It's scary how much they're actually watching us. It really is. But we're having some microphone issues, guys. I'm going to end this stream and then I'll be right back. So if you want to continue watching, please do so. We're going to be right back. Give me about 5 minutes. I'm going to restart the computer because I'm having some microphone issues. And then we'll be right back.